Did To Catch a Predator perform a public service, or was it just another ratings-hungry reality series? However you feel about NBC's hit program, we've dug up a collection of behind-the-scenes details that might change your opinion. Questionable content. Almost instantly, To Catch a Predator caused a stir amongst reporters who felt the segment went too far, not just in content, but in execution. CBS News' Brian Montopoli accused the series of being interested in nothing more than ratings, arguing it didn't operate with enough journalistic integrity. Furthermore, Montopoli accused the segment of taking the law into its own hands by publicly exposing child molesters on national television. Harsh as his opinion of the show might be, Montopoli also made it clear he feels no sympathy for the men exposed through its efforts. Entrapment or enticement? Anyone in the business of rooting out illegal behavior runs the risk of being accused of entrapment. But according to Dateline correspondent Stone Phillips, there's a fine line between entrapment and enticement, and it's always clear that the show's targets are no strangers to predatory practices online. Clearly, no arms are twisted to get these men to engage in sexually explicit online chats, and since the stated intent of the house visit is to have sex with a minor, the ultimate responsibility lies with the men who come knocking on the door, no matter who initiates the meeting. Don't mess with Texas. Not all the perps collared by the show have been given the punishment they seem to deserve. After the segment nabbed 24 men in Murphy, Texas, the local district attorney refused to prosecute the cases, claiming the amateur involvement of Perverted Justice, the foundation that teamed with NBC to create To Catch a Predator, tainted them. The DA had backup from Murphy's mayor, who said that even though the men in question deserved punishment, the involvement of a television show raised questions. Local residents were also furious that the show lured pedophiles to their town and to a house only 2 blocks from a school. Death of a predator. The negative reaction to the show in Murphy, Texas was largely caused by the suicide of Louis Conrad. He'd previously been chatting with Perverted Justice and had requested illegal images from someone identifying as a minor, but he didn't actually go to the Predator house. Instead, Dateline waited outside his residence for hours until the SWAT team arrived.
As they made entry, they confronted the suspect. I believe he was in the hallway, and he told them he wasn't going to hurt them, and then shot himself in the head.
State investigators found child pornography amongst Conrad's possessions, as well as evidence of graphic online chats. His sister, Patricia Conrad, filed a $100 million lawsuit against NBC, claiming her brother's exposure caused him to commit suicide. By 2008, the lawsuit was amicably resolved in a confidential settlement, thrown out of court. A 26-year-old man arrested for trying to have relations with a 13-year-old girl put yet another nail in To Catch a Predator's coffin. When the case went to trial in 2011, the judge threw it out after only 6 days, saying that there was no evidence that the man intended to have relations with a minor. In addition, the judge also accused the segment of entrapment. After the trial, the defendant's mother vowed to sue NBC to reclaim the money spent defending her son. Out of cash. After NBC stopped airing segments of To Catch a Predator, Perverted Justice blew through the $1.2 million they'd earned, and they've since become strapped for cash. Though the group is non-profit, group founder Xavier Von Erck reportedly spent the NBC money on himself, his friends, and his website. Second thoughts. By 2007, To Catch a Predator had collected a lot of negative press, including heavily critical stories in Rolling Stone and Esquire. Some of Dateline's advertisers expressed misgivings about continuing to support the segment, and as a result, NBC started scaling back production. By August of that year, only 1 segment had been shot, compared to 7 the previous year. NBC claimed it wasn't distancing itself from its controversial hit, but the numbers showed otherwise. Chris Hansen, cheater. Chris Hansen, a 20-year veteran at NBC, was ultimately canned after getting caught red-handed himself. He and a Florida affiliate reporter got a little too close for comfort, which wouldn't normally be a huge problem, but Hansen was married at the time. The network sustained a bit of a black eye during the scandal, and some might say they dropped the ball by not firing him on a segment similar to his own.
So you've got a big afternoon planned, huh?
Predator Reborn.
There's something you need to know. I'm Chris Hansen, and you are going to help me catch predators again.
In 2015, Chris Hansen launched a Kickstarter campaign to fund a web series called Hansen vs. Predator, with plans to bring it to television later. He claimed viewers were hungry for another investigation, and he meant to sate that hunger. By May, he'd raised almost $90,000 and started production, with investigations already underway. Hansen hired. In August 2016, Hansen was hired to host the nationally syndicated series Crime Watch Daily, which celebrated his arrival by renaming itself Crime Watch Daily with Chris Hansen. As part of the deal, he agreed to make his Hansen vs. Predator web series part of the program. Predators around the world, you're on notice.
With your help, I'll get that next group of predators very soon.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more videos like the one you just saw, and leave us a comment to let us know what you think of To Catch a Predator.